I never thought touching a vampire's crest would save my life. Until it did. My name is Nora, and 3 days ago I was just an EMT responding to what I thought was a routine call at the harbor. Now I'm hiding in a forest with a 10-year-old vampire heir while his ancient castle burns behind us, and the man who swore to protect us might already be dead. The worst part? Someone we trusted leaked our location to the hunters, someone close enough to know our every move, our every safe house, our every weakness. I thought I understood betrayal when my sister died, but discovering there's a traitor in our inner circle while bullets are flying overhead? That's a whole different kind of hell. And here's what really keeps me awake at night. The crest that should have burned my human skin recognized me as family, but I'm starting to think that recognition might be the very thing that gets us all killed. If you want to know who the traitor is and whether we survive what's coming next, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me what you think is really going on here. Because I have a feeling this story is about to get a lot darker. The radio crackles as I pull into the harbor parking lot. Unit 47, we have a pediatric emergency at Pier 12. Victim appears unconscious. I grab my kit and jog toward the docks. The fog rolls thick tonight. My boots echo against wet concrete. Hello? I call. EMT services. Nothing but the crash of waves against the pier. I sweep my flashlight across stacked cargo crates. The beam catches something small, huddled in the shadows between 2 containers. A boy. Maybe 10 years old. He lies curled on his side, skin paper white, lips blue. I drop to my knees and check his pulse. Weak but steady. Hey, can you hear me? I touch his shoulder gently. His eyelids flutter. Dark eyes focus on my face. I'm Nora. I'm here to help. What's your name? His mouth opens but no sound comes. He raises one trembling hand and points behind me. Red laser dots dance across the crates. My blood turns to ice. Someone is out there. Someone with weapons. We need to move, I whisper to the boy. I slide my arms under him and lift. He weighs almost nothing. His head lolls against my shoulder. Footsteps scrape on concrete, getting closer. There. A man's voice, rough and eager. The brat's with someone. I press deeper into the shadows, clutching the boy tight. My radio is back at the ambulance. No backup is coming. The footsteps stop 20 feet away. We know you're there, the man calls. Bring out the kid and we'll make this quick. The boy's fingers clutch my jacket. His whole body shakes. I peer around the edge of the container. 3 men in dark clothing advance slowly. Each one carries a rifle with a scope. They're not cops. They're hunters. The boy makes a small sound, almost like a whimper. Shh, I breathe against his ear. I won't let them hurt you. A shadow moves behind the hunters. Tall, silent. One of the men spins around. Did you? His words cut off in a wet gurgle. He drops to his knees, then falls forward. The other 2 hunters raise their weapons. Show yourself, one shouts. A figure steps from the darkness. A man in a long coat, moving with deadly grace. His face is sharp angles and pale skin. His eyes catch the harbor lights like a predator's. Run, he says quietly. The hunters don't run. They fire. The stranger moves faster than humanly possible. He flows between the laser beams like water through stones. One hunter screams as something silver flashes. The other tries to run. He doesn't make it 10 steps. Silence falls over the pier. The stranger walks toward us. No blood on his clothes. No sign he just killed 3 men. Come with me if you want the child to live, he says. His voice is low, controlled. British accent, maybe Irish. The boy in my arms relaxes slightly, like he recognizes this man. Who are you? I ask. Someone who can protect him. And now you. He stops 5 feet away. I get my first clear look at his face. Beautiful doesn't cover it. Beautiful is too simple a word. His features look carved from marble by someone who understood perfection. Dark hair falls across his forehead. His eyes are gray-blue, the color of winter storms. I'm not going anywhere with you, I say. Then you'll both be dead within the hour. The boy's hand touches my cheek. When I look down, he's staring at the stranger with complete trust. Who is he to you? I ask the boy. The stranger answers instead. He's my son. The word hits me wrong. This man looks 35 at most. The boy is maybe 10. Adopted, the stranger adds, reading my expression. A car engine purrs in the distance, getting closer. More of them, the stranger says. We need to leave now. I look at the boy's pale face. His breathing is still shallow. He needs medical attention soon. My ambulance. They've already disabled it. The stranger extends one hand. Trust me, or watch him die. Your choice. The boy's fingers curl around mine. His eyes plead with me. I make the choice. Lead the way. The stranger nods once. He turns and walks toward a sleek black car parked in the shadows. A woman sits behind the wheel, red hair pulled back, eyes scanning the approaches. Maeve, the stranger says as he opens the rear door. Hospital first, then home. No hospital, I say quickly. They'll find us there. The stranger pauses. The boy needs... I can stabilize him, but not here. The boy tugs on my jacket and points to the car. I slide into the back seat with him on my lap. The stranger gets in beside me, moving with fluid precision. The door shuts and we're rolling before I can think twice. Maeve, take the coast road, the stranger says. The woman's eyes find mine in the rearview mirror. Doctor? EMT, I say. Paramedic training. She nods and takes a sharp turn onto a winding road that hugs the cliffs. I check the boy's pulse again. Still weak. His skin feels too cool. What's his name? I ask. Luca, the stranger says. I lean down so Luca can see my face. Hey, Luca. I'm going to take good care of you, okay? He manages a small smile. I need supplies, I tell the stranger. Fluids, heat packs, something for his blood pressure. We have medical supplies at the house. What house? Sanctuary. The word sends a chill through me, like he means it in ways I don't understand yet. We climb higher into the hills. Below us, the harbor spreads out in points of light. I can see the pier where we left 3 dead men. They'll find the bodies, I say. No, the stranger says quietly. They won't. I don't ask what he means. Luca's breathing evens out as we drive. My presence seems to calm him. He keeps one small hand wrapped around my finger. The car turns through tall iron gates. A Victorian mansion rises ahead, all gray stone and tall windows. Lights burn in several rooms. Home? The stranger says. We stop at the front entrance. The stranger gets out first, then helps me carry Luca up the stone steps. The front door swings open before we reach it. How bad? Maeve asks. Manageable, I say. If I can get him warm and hydrated. We step into a grand foyer. Dark wood panels, oil paintings, a sweeping staircase. It looks like something from a Gothic novel. Upstairs, the stranger says. Second door on the right. The bedroom is large but comfortable. Heavy curtains, thick carpet, a fireplace crackling in the corner. I lay Luca on the 4-poster bed and immediately start checking his vitals. Supplies? I ask. The stranger opens an armoire. Inside are medical supplies that would make most hospitals jealous. Interesting collection, I say. We're often off the grid. I grab what I need and get to work. IV line, saline drip, heat packs under his arms and around his core. The stranger watches every move but doesn't interfere. Luca's color starts to improve after 20 minutes. Better, I murmur. The stranger's shoulders relax slightly. He'll need monitoring through the night, I say. And I want to run some blood work in the morning. Of course. I look at him directly for the first time since we arrived. I don't even know your name. Ronan. Well, Ronan, what exactly did I just walk into? He moves to the window and peers through the curtains. Protection detail. The boy was targeted by people who want to hurt him. Why? Because of what I am. The way he says it makes my stomach tighten, like there's more to that story than I want to know. And what are you? He turns back to me. In the firelight, his pale skin almost seems to glow. His eyes hold shadows that feel older than his apparent age. Dangerous, he says simply. Luca's hand reaches out from the bed. I catch his fingers automatically. But not to him, I say. Or to me. No, not to you. The promise in his voice feels solid. Real. There's a cot in the corner, Ronan says. You can stay here tonight, with him. It's not really a question. I'll need to call my supervisor. Let them know. Your ambulance was found abandoned. You're listed as missing. My blood chills. What? The hunters made it look like an abduction. Your radio was destroyed. No witnesses. So I'm dead? Officially? No. Missing. There's a difference. I stare at him. How do you know all this? Because we've been monitoring their communications since they started tracking Luca. The boy squeezes my hand. When I look down, his eyes are open, watching our conversation. He understands more than he can say, Ronan explains. Selective mutism, trauma response. From what? Ronan's jaw tightens. From watching his family die. The words hit me like a physical blow. I look at Luca's young face and see the shadows there, the careful way he watches doors and windows. How long ago? 6 months. And you've been protecting him since then? Trying to. I adjust Luca's IV and check his temperature. Normal. His breathing is stronger now. Who were those men at the pier? Hunters. Hunting what? Ronan is quiet for a long moment. Then he walks to the fireplace and stares into the flames. Us, he says finally. The word hangs in the air between us. I want to ask what us means. I want to demand real answers instead of cryptic half-truths. But Luca's fingers are warm in mine, and his breathing is steady. And right now, that's what matters most. I'll stay tonight, I say. Ronan nods. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I have a lot of questions. I know. He moves toward the door, then pauses. Nora? Yeah? The crest above the fireplace. Touch it. I look where he's pointing. An ornate metal symbol hangs above the mantel. Celtic knots and sharp geometric patterns. Why? Please, just touch it. Something in his voice makes me comply. I reach up and press my palm against the metal. It's warm. Not burning hot, just pleasantly warm. Like it's been sitting in sunlight. Interesting, Ronan says quietly. What's interesting? But he's already gone, the door clicking shut behind him. I stare at the crest. The metal still tingles under my palm. Luca tugs on my shirt. When I look down, he's smiling. The first real smile I've seen from him. He points to the crest, then to me, then makes a gesture I don't understand. What is it, sweetheart? He can't answer with words, but his eyes are bright with something that looks like hope. I settle into the chair beside his bed and try to process everything that's happened. 3 hours ago, I was answering a routine EMT call. Now I'm in a mansion with a mysterious man named Ronan and a traumatized boy who trusts me for reasons I can't explain. The crest is still warm against the wall. Outside, wind howls around the corners of the house. Luca's breathing deepens as he drifts toward sleep. His fingers stay wrapped around mine. I should be scared. I should be demanding answers and exit strategies. Instead, I feel oddly safe. Like this strange house and its dangerous owner might actually be exactly where I need to be. Luca sleeps peacefully for the first time in months. and I keep my hand pressed against the warm metal crest, wondering what it means that it doesn't burn. I wake to sunlight streaming through heavy curtains. Luca is still asleep, color much better, breathing steady. The IV bag is nearly empty. The door opens quietly. Ronan enters carrying a breakfast tray. "How is he?" he asks. "Much better. The fluids helped." I stand and stretch, working out the kinks from sleeping in a chair. Ronan sets the tray on a side table. "Coffee," he says, "and something to eat." The smell of bacon makes my stomach growl. I realize I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. "Thank you." I pour coffee from a silver pot. It's perfect, rich and strong. "We need to talk," Ronan says. "Yes, we do." Luca stirs at the sound of our voices. His eyes open and find mine immediately. "Hey, sleepyhead," I say softly. "How are you feeling?" He sits up slowly, looks around the room, then holds out his hands toward me. I help him out of bed. He's steadier now, more alert. "Hungry?" I ask. He nods. "There's food downstairs," Ronan says. "If you're comfortable leaving the room." I look at Luca. He glances between Ronan and me, then nods again. "Okay, but first I want some answers." "Downstairs," Ronan says, after he eats. We make our way to a large kitchen that looks like something from a cooking show. All granite counters and copper pots. Maeve stands at the stove, flipping pancakes. "Morning," she says without turning around. "How's our patient?" "Better," I say. She plates the pancakes and sets them in front of Luca. He digs in immediately. "Good appetite," I observe. That's a positive sign. Ronan pours himself coffee but doesn't drink it. He stands by the window, watching the driveway. "Expecting someone?" I ask. "Always." Maeve slides a plate toward me. Pancakes, bacon, fresh fruit. My stomach rumbles again. "Eat," she says. "You'll need your strength." "For what?" "For understanding what you've walked into." I take a bite of pancake. It's excellent. Fluffy and perfectly sweet. Luca finishes his breakfast and looks around the kitchen with curious eyes. He points to a bulletin board covered with photos and drawings. "Those are his," Ronan says quietly. "From before." I walk over to look. The photos show a happy family. A woman with Luca's dark eyes. A man with a gentle smile. Luca himself, younger, laughing at something off camera. The drawings are typical kid art. Stick figures, bright colors, simple scenes, except for one. In the corner, a darker drawing shows shadowy figures surrounding a house. Red scribbles that might be blood. And in the center, a small figure hiding under what looks like a bed. My chest tightens. "He drew that the week after," Ronan says behind me. "After what happened to his family?" "Yes." Luca appears at my elbow. He points to the drawing, then to himself, then makes a gesture I'm starting to recognize. A flat hand pressed over his throat. "He couldn't speak afterward," Ronan explains. The trauma locked his voice away. I kneel down to Luca's eye level. "But you can hear everything, can't you?" He nods. "And you understand what we're saying?" Another nod. I look up at Ronan. "Have you tried sign language?" "Some. He's learning slowly." "I know basic ASL from working with deaf patients." I sign to Luca. "Hello, my name is Nora." His eyes widen. He signs back, clumsy but clear. "Hi." Then he points to Ronan and signs. "Safe." My throat tightens unexpectedly. This little boy has been through hell, but he still trusts, still hopes. "Yes," I sign back. "Safe." Ronan watches our exchange with an expression I can't read. "We should talk," he says. "Privately." Maeve steps forward. "I'll stay with Luca. There's a game room upstairs." Luca looks between us, then nods. He follows Maeve out of the kitchen. Ronan and I are alone. "Sit," he says. I remain standing. I want answers first, real ones. He leans against the counter, arms crossed. In daylight, his pale skin is even more striking, almost luminous. What do you want to know? Start with who those men were, the ones who were hunting Luca. Mercenaries. Hired by someone who wants the boy dead. Why would anyone want to kill a child? Ronan is quiet for a long moment. Because of what he might become, he says finally. Which is? Like me. The way he says it makes my skin prickle. And what are you, exactly? He meets my eyes directly. You already know. I know what I think I know, but that's impossible. Is it? I think about how fast he moved at the pier, how easily he killed 3 armed men. The way his eyes seem to catch light that isn't there. Say it, he says quietly. Vampire. The word hangs between us like a challenge. Ronan doesn't deny it, doesn't laugh, doesn't tell me I'm being ridiculous. He just nods. Luca's parents were vampires, he continues. They were killed by hunters who thought they could eliminate our bloodline entirely. But Luca is just a child who will transition when he reaches maturity, if he lives that long. My mind reels. You're serious. You're actually serious. Touch the crest again. What? The crest above the fireplace. Touch it again. I want to argue, but something in his voice compels me. We walk back to Luca's room. The crest hangs where I left it, gleaming in the morning light. I press my palm against it. Warm, not burning, just warm. It should burn you, Ronan says. Any human who touches it should be in agony within seconds. I pull my hand back and stare at the unblemished skin. But it doesn't burn me. No. It recognizes you. Recognizes me as what? I don't know yet. The honesty in his voice is somehow more unsettling than any lie would be. This is insane, I say. Yes. I should leave. Walk out that door and pretend none of this happened. You could try. What's stopping me? He gestures toward the sound of laughter from upstairs. Luca's laughter, bright and genuine. Him. He needs you. He needs medical care, professional help, not some EMT who stumbled into a nightmare. You're not just some EMT. How would you know? Ronan moves closer. Not threatening, just closer. I can see flecks of gold in his gray eyes. Because you stayed, he says. Because you touched the crest and it didn't burn. Because he trusts you in a way he hasn't trusted anyone since his parents died. That doesn't mean... It means everything. A phone buzzes in his pocket. He checks it, frowns. What? I ask. Security alert. Someone's testing our perimeter. My blood turns cold. The hunters? Possibly. Maeve appears in the doorway. Ronan, we need to talk. Her tone is grim. Watch the monitors, Ronan tells her. I'll be right there. She nods and disappears. I have to handle this, Ronan says to me. Stay with Luca. Don't leave this room. For how long? Until I come back. He's moving toward the door when I call his name. Ronan. He turns. If this is real, if you're really what you say you are, why aren't you trying to kill me? Because, he says quietly, you're not food. You're family. He's gone before I can ask what he means. I sink into the chair by the window and try to process everything. Vampires, hunters, a little boy who might transform into something inhuman when he grows up, and me, somehow caught in the middle of it all. Luca appears in the doorway. He looks around, notices Ronan is gone, and his face falls. He'll be back, I sign. Promise. Luca walks over and climbs onto my lap. He's getting too big for it, but I don't mind. He feels warm and solid and real. Are you scared? I sign. He considers this seriously, then shakes his head. Why not? He points to me, then makes a gesture like wrapping arms around himself. Safe, he signs. With you. My eyes prick with unexpected tears. This child has lost everything. His parents, his voice, his normal life. He's being hunted by people who want him dead for something he can't control. But he feels safe with me. I think about the crest that doesn't burn. About Ronan's words. Your family. Maybe I don't understand what's happening yet. Maybe the whole situation is impossible and dangerous and completely insane. But Luca needs me, and that's enough. A loud crash from somewhere in the house makes us both jump. Luca's eyes go wide with fear. Stay here, I sign. Don't move. I ease him off my lap and move to the window. Below, I can see black SUVs in the driveway. Men in tactical gear spreading out across the lawn. Shit, I breathe. The hunters found us. I grab my medical kit and Luca's hand. We need to hide, I sign. Now. He points to the walk-in closet. We slip inside just as footsteps pound up the stairs. Through the crack under the door, I see boots pass by. Hear voices. Search every room. Where's the target? He's here somewhere. Luca trembles against my side. I wrap my arms around him and try to project calm I don't feel. The footsteps move past our door. For now. But they'll be back. And when they find us, all the warm crests and family promises in the world won't save us. Unless Ronan gets to us first. In the darkness of the closet, I hold Luca tight and pray that vampires are as dangerous as the stories say. Because right now, I need a monster on my side. The footsteps fade down the hallway. I count to 30, then crack the closet door open. Empty bedroom. But voices drift up from downstairs. Angry voices. Clear the ground floor. No sign of them yet. Check the basement. I sign to Luca. We need to move. He nods, face pale but determined. We slip from the closet and cross to the window. The drop is too far. No fire escape, no balcony. A new sound cuts through the house. Breaking glass. Splintering wood. They're tearing the place apart. Luca tugs on my sleeve and points to a door I hadn't noticed before. Hidden behind a tapestry. Good eye, I whisper. The door opens onto a narrow servant's staircase. We climb quickly, quietly, until we reach what must be the attic. Dusty furniture, old paintings, boxes stacked against the walls, and a window that faces the back of the property. I peer through grimy glass. More men in black spread across the grounds, but there's a gap between their positions. A path through the trees that leads toward the cliff. Can you climb? I sign to Luca. He nods. I unlatch the window. It's stiff, but it opens. Cold air rushes in. Follow me. Stay quiet. I swing my leg over the sill and lower myself onto the roof. The slate tiles are slippery with morning dew. Luca climbs out behind me, moving with surprising grace. We inch our way to the edge. There's a drain pipe here, old but solid looking. I test it with my weight. It holds. You first, I sign. I'll be right behind you. Luca wraps his small hands around the pipe and starts down. He's done this before, I realize. Probably practiced escape routes with Ronan. I follow, trying not to think about the 30-foot drop. We reach the ground just as shouts erupt from inside the house. They're not here! Check the grounds again. I grab Luca's hand and we run for the trees. The forest is thick with fog. We weave between ancient oaks and moss-covered stones. Branches catch at my clothes. Roots try to trip me. Behind us, dogs start barking. Damn, I breathe. Luca points to the right. There's a path here, barely visible but worn smooth by use. We follow it deeper into the woods. The path leads to a stone structure built into the hillside. Some kind of old storm shelter or root cellar. In here, I sign. We duck through the low entrance. Inside, the space is larger than it appeared from outside. Stone walls, wooden shelves, emergency supplies. Ronan planned for this. I find battery-powered lanterns and flip them on. Luca curls up on a pile of blankets in the corner. We wait here, I sign. Until it's safe. But even as I say it, I wonder if we'll ever be safe again. The hours crawl by. No sounds from outside except wind and distant bird calls. Luca dozes fitfully. I inventory the supplies. Food, water, medical kit, emergency radio, and weapons. Silver knives, wooden stakes, things that make my stomach clench. Around noon, footsteps approach the shelter. I grab one of the silver blades and position myself between Luca and the entrance. A shadow fills the doorway. Nora. Ronan's voice. I nearly collapse with relief. He ducks inside, followed by Maeve. Both are dressed in black tactical gear. Both carry weapons. "Are you hurt?" he asks immediately. "We're fine. What happened?" "They found the house. We led them off, but they'll be back." "How many?" 12. Professional team. Maeve kneels beside Luca. "Hey, little man. You did good." He sits up and signs, scared. "I know," she signs back. "But you're safe now." I'm surprised she knows ASL. "We can't stay here," Ronan says. "They'll expand their search pattern within hours." "Where do we go?" "There's another safe house, 40 minutes by car." "And if they're watching the roads?" "We don't take the roads." He produces a map and spreads it on the floor. Red marks show hunter positions. Blue marks show safe routes. "Boat," Maeve explains. "We go down to the harbor, take the night ferry to the mainland." "What about Luca? He's just a child." "He's stronger than you think," Ronan says, "and we don't have a choice." Outside, an engine roars in the distance. "Time to go," Maeve says. We gather our supplies quickly. Ronan helps Luca into a small backpack. I stuff medical supplies into my kit. "Stay close," Ronan tells me. "Don't separate for any reason." We slip out of the shelter and move through the trees toward the coast. The path is treacherous. Loose rocks, steep drops, thick undergrowth that tangles around our legs. But Ronan moves through it all with supernatural grace. Maeve matches his pace easily. I struggle to keep up, especially while making sure Luca doesn't fall behind. We're halfway to the water when the shooting starts. Gunfire echoes through the forest. Muzzle flashes strobe between the trees. "Down!" Ronan shouts. We hit the ground as bullets whine overhead. "They flanked us," Maeve snarls. "How many?" "At least 6, moving in from 3 directions." Ronan draws a silver blade. In the forest gloom, his eyes seem to glow. "Get them to the boat," he tells Maeve. "What about you?" "I'll handle the hunters." "Ronan, no," I say. "There are too many." He looks at me with an expression that's almost gentle. "This is what I do," he says. "What I am." Then he's gone, vanishing into the shadows like smoke. The gunfire intensifies. Screams cut through the air. Not screams of pain. Screams of terror. "Move," Maeve says. "Now." She leads us down a steep slope toward the rocky shore. Behind us, the sounds of battle fade. The boat is a sleek speedboat moored at a small dock. Maeve fires up the engine while I help Luca aboard. "Where's Ronan?" I ask. "He'll find us." "What if he doesn't?" Maeve's jaw tightens. "He will." We wait 20 minutes, 30. No sign of him. Finally, Maeve makes the decision. We leave now, before more hunters arrive. We can't abandon him. We're not abandoning him. We're completing the mission. She pulls away from the dock. The boat cuts through gray water toward distant lights. Luca sits pressed against my side, staring back at the dark coastline. I understand how he feels. We've left the only safety we knew, and the man who promised to protect us is somewhere in those woods, possibly dead. The boat ride takes an hour. We dock at a marina on the far side of the bay. Maeve leads us to another black car waiting in the parking lot. "Safe house is 10 minutes," she says. But as we drive through empty streets, I can't shake the feeling that we're not safe at all. We're refugees now. Homeless. cut off from everything familiar. And somewhere behind us, the hunters are still coming. The safe house turns out to be a modest apartment above a bookstore. 2 bedrooms, basic furniture, windows that face an alley. Not as nice as the mansion, Maeve says, but it's off the grid. She shows me where everything is. Food, medical supplies, communication equipment. What about Ronan? I ask. He'll contact us when he can. And if he can't? Then we keep moving. Luca explores the apartment with listless energy. He's exhausted, traumatized, grieving the loss of another home. I set up a makeshift medical station and check his vitals. Everything's normal, but his eyes hold shadows I recognize. The same shadows I see in the mirror every day. You lost someone, I sign to him. He nods. Me too. My sister. His expression grows curious. Car accident. 2 years ago. I was supposed to pick her up from work that night, but I was tired. I told her to take the bus. The words come easier in sign language somehow, like they carry less weight when my hands speak them. The drunk driver hit the bus at the intersection. She died instantly. Luca reaches out and takes my hand. Not your fault, he signs. Simple words from a 10-year-old boy, but they crack something open inside my chest. Sometimes it feels like it is, I sign back. I know. We sit together in the quiet apartment, 2 people carrying guilt that doesn't belong to us. Outside, rain begins to fall against the windows. No word from Ronan, no sign of the hunters. Just the 3 of us, waiting for something to change. At midnight, a soft knock at the door makes us all freeze. Maeve draws a gun. I position myself between the door and Luca. Who is it? Maeve calls softly. It's me. Ronan's voice, tired but alive. Maeve unlocks 3 deadbolts and pulls the door open. He steps inside, clothes torn, face streaked with dirt, but uninjured. Luca runs to him and wraps his arms around his waist. Ronan's hand settles gently on the boy's head. What happened? Maeve asks. I convinced them to leave. All of them? The one still breathing. The casual way he says it should disturb me. Instead, I feel only relief. How long do we have? I ask. Hours, maybe less. They'll send reinforcements when the first team doesn't report in. So what's the plan? Ronan looks at me with an expression I can't read. We run, he says, until we find somewhere they can't follow. And where might that be? I'm working on it. Outside, thunder rumbles overhead. The storm is getting worse. And somewhere in the darkness, our enemies are gathering strength for another attack. But for now, we're together. All 4 of us. And maybe that's enough to keep the darkness at bay for one more night. The phone rings at 3 a.m. Ronan answers on the first ring. Yes. I can't hear the other side of the conversation, but I watch his face go stone cold. How many? He asks. A pause. When? Another pause. Longer this time. Understood. He hangs up and turns to face us. Maeve is already reaching for her weapons. They found this location, Ronan says. 20 minutes out. How? Maeve demands. Someone leaked our safe house network. The words hit like a physical blow. We have a traitor. Pack light, Ronan continues. We leave in 5 minutes. I grab my medical kit and help Luca gather his few belongings. His hands shake as he stuffs a small stuffed bear into his backpack. Where are we going? I ask. The only place left, Ronan says. Home. I thought the mansion was compromised. Not that home. We pile into the car and drive through empty streets. Rain pounds the windshield. Lightning illuminates the sky in violent flashes. Ronan takes turns I don't recognize. We're heading deeper into the hills, away from civilization. There, he says finally. A massive iron gate rises from the fog. Beyond it, I can see the outline of a structure that makes the mansion look modest. This is a castle. Ancient stone walls, towers reaching toward storm clouds, windows that glow with warm light. Welcome to Raven's Hollow, Ronan says. My ancestral home. The gates swing open at our approach. We drive up a long gravel road lined with enormous oak trees. How old is this place? I ask. The original keep was built in 1348, Ronan says. I've been adding to it ever since. Ever since. As in, for over 600 years. I'm still processing that when we stop at the main entrance. Double doors that must be 15 feet tall, carved with symbols I don't recognize. Inside, the castle is a maze of corridors and staircases. Tapestries hang from stone walls, fireplaces crackle in every room. It's beautiful, I breathe. It's sanctuary, Ronan corrects. The oldest vampire sanctuary in North America. He leads us to a great hall with a vaulted ceiling. A long table dominates the space, set with silver and crystal. Portraits of stern-faced men and women line the walls. My family, Ronan explains, going back 30 generations. I study the faces. They all share certain features: sharp cheekbones, pale skin, eyes that seem to follow you around the room. They're all vampires. Yes. Luca tugs on my sleeve. He points to one portrait in particular, a young woman with kind eyes and dark hair. My wife, Ronan says quietly. Elena, Luca's biological mother. The resemblance is unmistakable. Luca has her eyes, her gentle expression. She was turned? I ask. Born vampire, like Luca will be when he reaches maturity. And his father? Human, like you. Ronan moves to stand beneath Elena's portrait. His expression is unguarded for once, raw with grief. She was killed protecting Luca, along with her husband. The hunters tortured them for information about vampire bloodlines. I'm sorry, I say. They died because I wasn't there to protect them. The guilt in his voice is something I recognize. It sounds like the voice in my head that whispers about my sister. It wasn't your fault, I say. Wasn't it? I'm the king. Protection is my responsibility. King. The word stops me cold. You're royalty? Of a sort. The vampire courts recognize my authority over this territory. I look around the great hall with new eyes. The portraits aren't just family. They're a dynasty. So Luca is my heir, the next king, which explains why the hunters want him dead. Kill the heir, destabilize the kingdom. A door slams somewhere in the castle. Footsteps echo through the corridors. Expecting someone? Maeve asks. Ronan frowns. No. The footsteps get closer. Multiple sets of boots on stone floors. Weapons, Ronan says quietly. We spread out across the hall. I pull Luca behind one of the massive stone pillars. The great doors swing open. A man enters, flanked by armed guards. He's tall, pale, dressed in an expensive suit. His smile reveals fangs. Hello, Ronan, he says. Miss me? Ronan's entire body goes rigid. Draven. You remember. I'm touched. The man called Draven saunters into the hall like he owns it. His guards spread out, blocking the exits. What are you doing here? Ronan demands. Collecting what's mine. Draven's eyes scan the room until they find me. His smile widens. Ah, there she is, the little human who thinks she belongs in our world. She's under my protection, Ronan says. Your protection? Draven laughs. You couldn't protect Elena. What makes you think you can protect her? The name hits Ronan like a physical blow. His hands curl into fists. Elena chose you, Draven continues. But she was promised to me first. Understanding dawns. This isn't just about territory or power. This is about a woman. A dead woman who chose one man over another. She's been gone for 2 years, Ronan says. Let it go. I can't. You see, I've spent those 2 years hunting down everyone responsible for her death. The hunters killed her. The hunters were hired by someone who knew exactly where to find her. Draven produces a tablet and shows us security footage. Elena and her husband walking into their home. Happy, unaware they're being watched. Someone gave the hunters inside information, Draven says. Someone Elena trusted. The implication hangs in the air. You think I betrayed her, Ronan says. I know you did. You're insane. Am I? You were the only one who knew her daily routines, her security protocols, her safe houses. I loved her. Did you? Or did you just want to possess her? Ronan moves faster than human eyes can follow, but Draven is just as fast. They collide in the center of the hall. Fangs flash. Claws rake stone. The guards raise their weapons. No, I shout. Luca! The boy is too close to the fight. If those guns go off, he could be hit by stray bullets. I break from cover and run toward him. One of the guards swings his weapon toward me. Don't, Draven calls. She's mine. The guard hesitates. It's enough. Maeve puts 3 bullets in his chest before he can recover. Chaos erupts. Gunfire. Screaming. The crash of overturned furniture. I grab Luca and dive behind the long table. Wood splinters as bullets tear through it. Above us, Ronan and Draven tear each other apart with inhuman strength. Blood spatters the stone floor. We need to move, I sign to Luca. He points toward a side door I hadn't noticed before, hidden behind a tapestry. We crawl along the floor, staying below the line of fire. Maeve covers us, her gun barking steadily. We reach the door just as Draven throws Ronan into one of the stone pillars. The impact cracks the ancient stone. Run! Ronan gasps. Take him and run! Not without you, I call back. Go! Draven advances on Ronan, fangs bared. This ends tonight. I make a decision that will haunt me forever. I leave. Luca and I slip through the hidden door into a narrow corridor. Behind us, the sounds of battle fade. The corridor leads to a spiral staircase. We climb quickly, my heart pounding with terror and adrenaline. At the top, we find ourselves in a tower room. Windows on all sides show the storm raging outside, and far below, headlights approach the castle. More hunters. Dozens of them. We're trapped, I whisper. Luca tugs on my sleeve. He's pointing to something in the corner. A rope. Thick climbing rope attached to an iron ring in the wall. Escape route, I realize. The rope drops down the outside of the tower. I can't see where it ends, but it's our only choice. I tie the medical kit to my back and help Luca climb onto my shoulders. Hold tight, I sign. Don't let go. I grab the rope and swing out into the storm. The wind tries to tear us loose. Rain lashes at our faces. Lightning illuminates the ground far below. But we descend steadily, hand over hand. Halfway down, my palms start to burn. The rope is rough, tearing at my skin. I ignore the pain and keep climbing. We reach the ground just as the castle's windows explode outward. The hunters have breached the walls. I grab Luca's hand and we run into the forest. Behind us, the ancient stones of Raven's Hollow burn against the storm-torn sky. We run until our legs give out, until we can't hear the sounds of battle anymore. Deep in the woods, we take shelter under a fallen tree. What now? I sign to Luca. He doesn't answer. His eyes are fixed on the distant glow of flames. His home is burning. The last safe place in his world is gone. And somewhere in that inferno, Ronan is fighting for his life against impossible odds. I pull out my phone and try to call Maeve. No signal. Try to call 911. Nothing. We are truly alone now. A human woman and a vampire child, lost in the wilderness with nowhere left to run. The storm rages overhead. In the distance, wolves howl. And I realize that everything we've lost tonight might only be the beginning. The real war is just starting.